to market in all software divisions. So at Barcelona, at Explore, I had my first Nights event for VMware. From a Broadcom legacy perspective, it's the same thing that we've been doing. It's the same process. We're keeping up with it, and we're making sure that it's stable and the partners meet the requirements of the Nights program. For VMware, we took anybody from 2022 that had a VCIX and anybody that we could find that had a VCDX, and we grandfathered them in the program. We're working through that now. We started with about 350 people in distribution and in resell, also OEM, and a couple GSPs and GSIs. If you're on this call and you're VCSP, I'm still working with that division to figure out how we're going to cover that, and there's more to do there, okay? More to come there. The other thing that I want to say, right, is this is an ongoing process, and to get this thing in place, it's going to take us time, okay? So those people that were grandfathered in, some of them came to Barcelona. Everybody's asking questions about what they need to do next. And then I've got the partners right now that weren't grandfathered in that want to know what to do next. Let me go through these slides. I'm going to talk about it. Then I'll answer some questions. And then we'll talk about how this thing is going to progress as we go into the future. All right, the Nights program overview. Okay, it's the most elite individual technical professionals and the highest level of recognition for an individual at Broadcom. Nights are technical champions. They're going to have to understand the sales and technical pieces of the products or platforms. It's the highest level recognition. Membership is only for partners. It is not for internal or SMEs. Nights are replacing the VCDX from a partner perspective. If you're on this call, right, and you want to talk about what you're going to do internally or the customers are going to do, that's a question for the education division. I just handle the partner stuff, and the partner stuff is going from VCDXs to Nights, and we're going to have requirements that are just about the same as you would have to have with the VCDX, just not as quite as much the process that was there before, okay? And I'll talk more about that as we get into the slides. It's only awarded to an individual. It's not, Nights are not a company award, okay? Membership is on an annual basis, and you have to have an invitation, a nomination, and a sponsor. It wraps back around our certifications for sales, pre-sales, implementation, architecture, and support. So everybody that's a Night, I don't care how technical you are, you have to be sales certified in that component and in that platform. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. But sales and then one of the technical roles. So if you're going to be a Night going forward, you're going to have to get certified in a couple different things, and you're going to have your sales certifications for proven professional and expert, and you're going to have one of the pre-sales implementation architecture support roles for proven professional and expert. So you're going to have a minimum of 4 certifications for one of the components, which is ARIA, NSX, vSAN, or vSphere. And you're going to have 4 certifications, proven professional for sales, and your technical certifications for the platform. If you're VMware. With VMware, it's a little different because we have the VCF platform and the VVF platform. Those certifications and those things that are out there on the partner portal, there's a VCP test, and you're going to have to walk through, take those courses, take that test, and then prove with whatever role, sales or technical, that you can handle the capability of that expert certification along with one of those components. Most people that got grandfathered into the Nights have a component certification, but I think we only have one person to date that has the platform certification because, once again, it just came out 14 days ago. There was some stuff before that we're working through from a grandfathering perspective, but as we go forward, if you were grandfathered in as a Night, you're going to have to go get certified. If you're certified from 2022 today in that product or component, then you've met half the requirements. Now you're going to have to go get certified in the platform. If you're one of those VCDXs that was from 2010, you're going to have to go get your new certifications in that component, and you're going to have to go get the platform certification. So once again, it wraps around the sales, pre-sales, implementation, architecture, sales, and one of the technical roles, getting both your proven professional expert certification, and in this case for Nights, it's going to play into either the product, which is more legacy Broadcom, and vSAN, vSphere, ARIA, and NSX. Plus, for VMware, you're going to have the platform certifications, okay? That's the minimum certifications that you're going to need to qualify or even be nominated for a night. So I'm going to get a ton of questions. They're probably already coming up of, what do I need to do to become a knight? Well, if you're already a knight, you're going to have to get certified, and I'm giving everybody a 6-month time period to do that. We're going to have specific calls with the knights that are in the program. We're going to walk through that with them. We're going to leverage the information and the investment they put in with the VCIXs and the VCDXs. And then all the partners that want to go do this going forward that are new, you've got some marching orders. Go get your certifications first. There's nothing else to worry about. Until you get your certifications, you can get nominated, and I'm not even going to do that. So right now, I got a bunch of folks internally that are sending me, we want to nominate. If they don't have the platform certification, no reason to nominate them. So once again, all the certifications have to be done first. So internally here, the best way to say it, get your certifications done for both the platform and the component. Then we can start to talk about a nomination and the sponsor. If you're already in, you're going to have to go a next level, which is after the certifications, you're going to have a VCF lab, and you're going to have to do some use cases. That's more in line with the VCDX, and that's where it's going to separate normal folks from getting certified, keeping in mind that even if you're normal and you're getting certified for a certified expert, we know you can do it. So that badge is going to be even more important. We're only going to take the knights that are the best of the best that can handle those use cases, put it in a lab, and drive it at a bigger picture. And once again, it doesn't matter if you've been grandfathered in or if you're a new partner, you're going to walk through the same process. The only difference is the folks that got grandfathered in pretty much have their component certifications to start, and they went above and beyond and with the investment that they had at VMware, okay? All right, couple things that are really important, okay? For Broadcom, you have to be a Pinnacle, Premier, and I have an exception for select partners, okay? When we first started the Broadcom program, it was only for Premier and Pinnacle, and then we added some specific select partners and made an exception. For VMware, there is no select partner exception. You have to be a Pinnacle or Premier partner to be nominated as a knight. You can have all the certifications in the world. You can continue to work towards being a knight, but you're going to have to come up in tiers and be a Premier or Pinnacle. Eventually, I may have that exception for select partners, but I have to get it up, get it running, get the right partners in, the right individuals into the program. Some that have been grandfathered in are going to make it, some aren't. Some of the new partners or the new people are going to get all their certifications and walk and get the Broadcom Knights. Like I said, this is going to be about a year process to get it where it needs to be. Then at that point, I may make some exceptions for select partners. Registered partners are not eligible to be Knights. All right, so once again, when we talk specifically in that capability model, and the more you guys see it, the more I talk about it from my strategy framework wrapped around the certifications and now the Knights, here's the specific pieces. For enterprise security and legacy Broadcom, it's the same that it's always been. On the right-hand side, you can see the two different pieces, okay? You need to have your technical platform certification, and you need to have it both for sales and technical. Proven professional expert certifications plus your component, okay? Which is vSphere, ARIA, NSX, and vSAN. Once you get those certifications, then you can be nominated, okay? Once again, if you've been nominated and you're in grandfathered, you're going to have to go get these certifications with 6 months, okay? We're going to work through that with everybody that's a knight or anybody that wants to be a knight going forward as long as you're Premier and Pinnacle. You have to be nominated by an employee at Broadcom. Nobody can nominate you except for Broadcom, and nobody can approve you to be a knight or your certification except Broadcom folks, and that all goes through me and my team. There's a non-disclosure, an NDA, that the knights have to sign. If you don't sign the personal NDA, you won't be a knight. No, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Doesn't matter the process. I've had companies come to me and say they don't want them to sign the knight. The only reason we do a different NDA is because we're going to use your personal information, and that's what you're signing off on. Once again, so we're going to put you out on a dashboard. We're going to promote you in our Finder tools, internally and externally if you're knight. You're going to get specific benefits. So you have to sign that NDA specific to you, not your company, the one that's already been there. And there's no way around that. That's a legal, compliant thing for us. If you can't do the initial NDA or get it signed or your company won't let you, once again, you just won't be part of the Knights program. You have to demonstrate business impact and be an extension to our teams that are technical. So your sponsor, you're going to be an extension to our team. So you're going to get special training. You're going to get upfront information as a night. Once again, the best of the best. And you're going to be our feedback into our project management and product marketing teams around the products as we go forward. You have to attend and be engaged into whatever we're doing with nights. And there may be a cost to that, okay? There's lots of conversations now about the events that we're having. Once again, getting the nights to those events, having technical specific training, meeting product management, product marketing, you have to be engaged, okay? Understanding and evangelizing the partner enablement strategy and framework. The one thing that drives me nuts, folks, is my nights better understand everything I'm talking about here so they can drive that within their companies. And they make sure that they get the right certifications and they understand that process. If I get a night pinging me, asking me basic questions about enablement, I'm the one that finally pushes the button that says you're a knight. And if you don't understand the enablement and framework, you can be the smartest technical person that we have at this company. I need you to be an evangelist to make sure that you're training the trainer and helping us drive our products and extension to our team and understanding that framework. Yeah. All right, content and specialized training and benefits, okay? Now, this is morphing, and we're doing certain things, and we're looking at specific pieces, but this is what we look at as a whole. We could add some things here. We're going to have conversations with some partners, right, as we go forward, and we're going to tweak this nights piece as we go, as the products change and the processes and the visions change, okay? I'm literally doing, for VMware, the VCF nights right now, but I do have a call about Tanzu nights. Plus, we do it for all legacy Broadcom. So you'll have access to a nights only dashboard out on the partner portal, and we will have specific communication for the nights there. There may be roadmaps there. There may be technical documentation there. Once again, it will only be for those nights, and the information around each night is going to be there. Okay, so you'll have your email address, a picture. We also promote you on our Finder tool around delivery, okay? So a customer or internal, you guys can go use that lookup, right? And that partner would be evangelized for being a night, and it would talk about the options, the company, things that they bring to the table in our Finders tools to help with the customers and internal on the right individuals, okay? The VMware Lives, like we're doing, specific to training, special things that are going on around the different divisions. S&E training like boot camps, live fires, and tech connects. We're having conversation with the live fire group that our nights may get access to that at no cost. Visibility, engagement into internal stakeholders, including product management, field sales, and technical teams. Everybody at Broadcom knows what a night is, all the way up to Hawk Pan, okay? So everybody understands that the nights have walked through the process, met the requirements, they're the best of the best, and they're really investing in Broadcom. They're in the Insights tool for the Advantage Partner Program, which once again, internal and external folks get access to, and we'll be able to look up that in the Finder tool. Our partner newsletters, internal and external. There's going to be badges. Once again, provide visibility to those customers. Opportunity to be hosting public profiles, blogs, content, different things that we'll look for our nights to help add to the Finder tool, right, and to promote our business. And then we'll have forums from a Broadcom night, once again, out on different pieces as we go forward. And even the dashboards that are out there for those partners will produce what they have for certification and nights. All right. So I think I walked through most of the stuff. Let's answer some questions because I'm sure there's plenty of them.
Interestingly, this is quite a good one, actually. Do the nights have Broadcom emails to be able to access that kind of content? And are they able to access our internal content?
No, they do not have Broadcom email addresses, but we just launched the partner portal and role-based profiles. So once again, you don't need a Broadcom internal email address to get that information because you will be a night marked in our systems and you will actually have your own page and that content that you guys will have access to. When you sign the NDA, right, that's specific, you have your NDA for your company. So we're going to give you information that's privileged. We're going to use your private information and we'll let you know what you can or cannot divulge, right? It's, you know, competitive information or whatever, but you will have access to that via events, seminars, webcasts, whatever it ends up being.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Is there a limit to the number of nights a partner can have?
There is no limit to the number of nights that you can have at this moment. With that said, okay, we're looking for the right number. Okay. From AOD and our legacy CA, they were very specific and they wanted the right nights and specific nights to be an extension to their team. So they have 40 globally. For our Symantec business, they want everybody to be a knight, and we're at about 146 nights for Symantec. Out the door, we're starting with 300 nights for VMware that are targeted, probably going to be a little bit more with the VCSPs once I figure that out, okay? But when we get situated, we'll figure out what the right nights are and the requirements and make them either easier or harder so that we have a percentage of our partners that are knights, but they're the best of the best, and they will have a group classification, right, that is special and specific to get into.
Thank you. And then one of the ones I know Kim and myself have been getting a number of queries about VCSP Pinnacle individuals and getting those guys looked at for knight status. Where are we with that?
So we started with distribution and resell, okay? And we got everybody situated with certifications. Then we started looking at the knights with the VCDXs and VCIXs. Then I went to the OEMs. There was only 7 of them, and we put those into cert metrics, mapped all the certifications right. And then we went to a couple of the GSPs and GSIs. Right now, for the CMMs and the VCSPs, according to the program, there's an entitlement for knights, okay? But I have to get these structures situated with that team. So I'm meeting with them this week to talk about how we introduce this into those partners, because we have to have technical sponsors and you need to be an extension to that team. I don't know that route to market well enough yet to see who those folks are. I've got to get them buyed in. I have some folks that may be able to do that, but I'm still working through that route to market, okay? So there'll be more to come for those folks. If you're a reseller, a disti, and a VSP, for some reason, VCSP, then you are invited. If you're just a VCSP only, I have to get that situated. We'll be working towards adding that as we go. Remember, we just started this. There's a long way to go. Even though we grandfathered people in, everybody has to go get the right requirements as we go forward, and it's just going to be the VCSPs coming up on the backside to see how I implement them into this program. I hope that helps.
Great, thank you.
We had one that came up in the first portion of our session today. So who invites the potential knights? Who's the actual individual that invites potential knights?
Okay, so I'm going to use it in 2 separate ways. You're nominated as a knight by anybody at Broadcom, okay? So a PBM, anybody can send me an email and say, I want to nominate this knight. The first thing I'm going to do is make sure they have the certification requirements, which I'm going to expect that person that nominates them has checked into that and worked through that, because you guys have the reports. So you need to understand what they need. You send it to me. We're going to make sure they have the right certs. If they have the right certs, then they have to find a technical sponsor. I'm not going to find them a sponsor. If they're that good, they've been around, they got their VCDX, if they're getting all these certifications, if they're the best of the best, they should be engaged and be able to find a technical SME, okay? That technical SME would sponsor them, and then I would work with the Zeems group, and Curtis Gunderson is my guy that's going to check to make sure that that person is technically capable of being their sponsor. And if that is approved, then that sponsor will have to walk them through the lab and make sure that they meet the requirements of the lab. And then at that point, I would approve them to be a knight, and they would literally get their badge and walk through that process. Okay. Now, with that said, that's the way that it's going to be. As we morph into this first 6 months, we may give some folks some badges that were grandfathered in. We may give them some shirts. We may give them some things. Once again, because they're ahead of the game, as that all plays out, that's where we're eventually going. Okay. So you got to be nominated by somebody. You got to have the right certs. You got to get a sponsor by yourself as that partner. Okay. Then that sponsor is going to be checked by our technical teams to make sure that they're actually capable of being an extension to the team, and they can do the use cases around VCF in their labs. And then at that point, we would literally make them a knight. They would stay a knight. And because of our capability matrix, it is very easy to stay certified on a 2-year basis. If you're a knight, you're going to be the best of the best, and it's going to be easy for that sponsor just to vouch for your capabilities. So once again, once a knight, actually signed as a knight, meeting all the requirements, as long as you're engaged and you work with us, you're going to stay a knight as long as you want to. If you tend to veer off, you don't stay engaged, then you can be unsponsored and you'll be taken out of the knights program.
Great. Thank you. That's all the questions we have right now.
All right. So to sum this up a little bit, right? So we talked about the strategy and framework internally. Okay. We've got the certification process guide, the knights. It's all on the partner portal. It's all new for fiscal year 25. Last year was a building year, catch-up year, migration year. This year is going to be driving the program requirements as they're built in with the business plans that'll be coming out very shortly, and all you guys will be involved with that for our Pinnacle and Premier partners. Everybody that's Pinnacle and Premier will have requirements in their business plan by products for both from a VMware platform perspective and a component perspective. Legacy Broadcom will have the same products that they've always had. We'll have nominations around the individuals and the minimum requirements in those business plans, and we'll drive those while we build the Knights program and get the right information and benefits in that for this next year, okay? And once again, I have a lot of leeway into the time frames. We're going to start with 6 months and try to get all this stuff going as, once again, the division changes, the process changes, and the products change, okay? So I think I've probably answered most of your questions. There's probably some still out there, and there's some still things that we have to work out. Once again, it's been a year. We got it started, and we'll let you know more of what's going on as we go forward from a whole Knights perspective, and then we'll have very specific information for the Knights that have been grandfathered in as we go forward. So once again, we're going to continue to work through this with you folks. The thing that I want to say, okay, everybody needs to understand this. If you've got another person at your company that was not on this call, there's going to be a recording of this. It's going to be out on the partner portal. All these decks are on the partner portal. You have plenty of folks to ask the questions with internally, and make sure that you understand it well enough so that we can drive it through the next fiscal year, meeting those requirements, helping them in the program go up or down, right? The benefits that they get for that process. And then once again, if it's internal, however, internal, external, right? Everybody needs to understand this and they have access to it. So when we're doing business plans, even if it's a Premier partner that's not on this call today, obviously it's internal. When we have those calls or when you're talking to those partners about business plans, they should go out and watch this video to be onboarded around enablement, process guide for certifications, and the Knights, so they understand all of that. And once again, I'm available to answer any questions with anybody, and so are the people that are in the divisions and on the phone or on this call today. Yeah? Any more questions popped up?
No, I think we're good.
Thanks, everybody.